All right, rolling once again. Guys, welcome back to the Hunting Roots Podcast. Joining me are my boys Aid and Rimbo. And on this podcast, we're going to have a lot of fun. We are talking about and trying to answer the question, what is the absolute best-sounding grunt call of all time? Aiden, you got your picks, don't you? You got some in mind?
Got one.
Yeah, Rimbo, you got one you kind of think is the best one of all
sir.
time? I do as well, and so we're going to get into it this week. A lot of fun on this one. And we do want to welcome those watching by YouTube. This is the first time we've ever brought the heat via YouTube. And we thought with the layout that we've got and the sounds we're going to share, we also wanted to show it. So thank you for watching. If you're watching by YouTube, appreciate you doing that. We won't do that for all these. I know a lot of folks are going to video format as well for their podcast. We may do that from time to time depending on what the content is. And if it works, if it's necessary, we will do that. But that one today is going to be brought to you through YouTube as well as whatever platform you're listening on the podcast. So we appreciate you listening, again, by the podcast. If you're listening to it or watching it now through YouTube, we want to welcome you. If this is your first time to join us for the Hunting Roots Podcast, I want you to know it's all about, as the name implies, digging back to our roots as hunters, getting back to the stories where we started, how it started, why we started, the hunting tradition and the lifestyle, as well as helping some of these younger guys. I say younger. Aiden's not my young buck anymore. Remy's now the youngest of my young bucks. But even him, he says, I ain't an old little boy anymore, right? He's a young and growing man. But helping these next generation hunters establish their roots. So it's digging back to our roots as older hunters, helping new hunters establish their roots. And that's what it's all about, the Hunting Roots Podcast. We hope it will entertain, equip, and encourage you each week. And as we share our journey and what God's doing in our lives in and through the outdoors, we hope it'll be an encouragement to you as well. Hey, real quick, I want to let you know that this podcast is brought to you by OnX Hunt. They are the official hunting app of the Hunting Roots Podcast. We use them every day, and we encourage you to get the app loaded in your phone so you can do the same. Also, a big thanks to our friends at Mossy Oak Camo. We love the camo, but even more love the people behind the camo. Thanks so much to the crew at Mossy Oak Camo. With that said, do we have any hunt updates, any hunt? We talked about your doe kill from the youth hunt. We talked about that last week. So that's old news. There's not been any deer kills. Aiden, you had some close calls. I say close calls. You had some buck action the other day.
Yep.
But it's just been young bucks. You've let them go.
Small bucks. Nothing good worthy of shooting.
That seems to be how it goes when you are targeting bigger bucks or even does. For me, that's how it goes. When I want to shoot does, I always see young bucks. I see the little forkies, the spikers, the little 6-pointers.
Yep.
All I want the big old doe to come slipping through there, and it's the young bucks. And then, obviously, here we are, first week of November. I guess we're into the second week of November now. What is it today? I don't know. We just had the election the other day. We'll talk about that in a minute. But here we are, November 7th, and this is the time where we really need to be letting these does go on by. It's hard for me to do when I got the bow because I still want to just thump every doe that comes through there, but this is a time we really need to be shifting gears and getting serious about killing some of these bucks. So no bucks for us here in this last week. We've been rained out a bunch. We've hunted a little bit in the rain, but, man, this week it's just been horrible weather. It's been 70 degrees overnight, 69, 70 degrees overnight lows, and then raining during the day. But tomorrow is finally Friday, and there's no rain in the forecast. I think I'm going to sit all day tomorrow. Aiden, you in for that? All day sit? You ever done that?
We got school in the morning, but I'll be able to hunt a little bit.
Man, you can take some sick days on school. You can call in. You're in college now. It don't matter. You can just say, hey, look, I'm not going to be there. No. Do a lot of people skip classes?
Yeah, they do, but that's why they drop out and fail. Drop out and die. Well, I'm going to do the all-day sit, I think, tomorrow. We're going to maybe do that. I may take a super cozy stand in there and just sit all day in the swamp, maybe make it. And just catch up for all these days I missed this week. I hadn't hunted much at all this week. Remy, we did finally get some bloodshed. There's been no deer kill this week, but Rimbo has broken in. What? Tell us what you broke in yesterday. Revived, brought back to life. What did you do to yesterday?
I got 2 squirrels with the old Savage.
But not just any squirrels. You've killed squirrels this year. They were the first squirrels with what? With who?
With Cricket, right?
Cricket, that's right. Yeah, the first warm-up, I should say a warm-up. Aiden's not, you're not calling it the
I'm not. That's not.
It felt really real, though, because, like,
I'm sure it
she
did for
ran
you.
into the woods, and it actually felt like a real
It was a real squirrel,
because
It
she was barking on the tree, and then it was like it just seemed so real because the squirrel was just hugging the tree.
She did all of it. It was a real hunt, but it just happened to be.
It happened to be a yard squirrel.
Well, technically, it was not a yard squirrel, or maybe it started off as a yard squirrel, and then she chased it into the big woods. But if they get outside the yard, I feel like that's a legit squirrel hunt or a legit kill because, you go chase one, she sees it out the back window, and she chases it up the tree in the yard. Now that's yard squirrel. That's warm up. That's what we do for warm up stuff. That's what keeps her in tune. But when she goes off in the block of woods by the house or goes off into the woods, and that's what she did. I know we were watching one squirrel in the yard, and
yeah, I was going after that one, and I was outside, and I heard Ricky start barking, and then that one ran into the woods, and then I saw her take off, and then she was barking in the woods.
That's right. She blew past us. We had our eye on the yard squirrel, and then I guess she saw something else because she just blew right past it and took off into the woods, maybe 100, 200 yards over in the woods, and she started barking trees, man, and I was sitting there at my desk working, and she was just hammering, though. She was fired up, and she had something. And you said you were getting ready to quit and come in, and you were getting ready to tell her in the hole, come on, and then you looked one more time. You saw
and
it. And
I saw like a little lump, and it was just that squirrel hugging the tree.
Was it
right there?
Sitting up on top of a limb or up on the side of the tree?
It was like there was like a limb going out like this way, and he was like hugging right here.
On the bottom of the limb?
Mm-hmm.
Really? Well, so Rembo killed 2 squirrels today. A little warm-up for Cricket the squirrel dog, our little mountain cur. We get people asking a lot what kind of dog we've got. It's a mountain cur. Got her out of Arkansas, and nothing special. She wasn't some high-dollar fancy breed or, out of some, breeder or anything like that, but just a $300 pup we got, a year and a half ago?
2.
Almost. She's 2 years old now. This will be her second full season. Last year was her first year. I think we killed 140-something squirrels with her last year. This will be her second full year. 2 years old in September, and she's a hoot, man. She's not the best squirrel dog, but she sure ain't the worst. We've had a lot of other crap dogs that we've had, tried them, didn't work, got rid of them. This one here's stuck, and she's just done really good. And so looking forward to that. The leaves are finally off the trees, and we can kind of get after it a little bit and see the squirrels. That's what we've been waiting on, is just get some of these leaves off the trees. And so when she does tree, we can get up there and see what's going on and get the party started. So, man, that was a good warm-up yesterday. 2 squirrels is it this week for bloodshed. But, man, we're fired up about it. And we're going to get after that, maybe do some of those squirrel hunts between the deer hunts. But today, we are excited for the fact that, man, it's just a good day to be alive. It's just a good day to be an American. We just had Trump, crazy election year, right? Crazy stuff. And all of it. I mean, it was crazy. You look back. I mean, I look back 6 months ago and however long ago it was, and Trump's getting ready to go head-to-head with Joe Biden. Bless Joe Biden's heart, man. He's been doing, just struggling and just seriously looks weak and just forgetful. I mean, he's always mumbled and stumbled with his words, but it's been scary this past year to see how much he's gone downhill and seemingly has gone downhill, and then all of a sudden now he's out. Kamala Harris is in, and it's been a weird year. I mean, now they got this Kamala Harris, who she didn't even get the nod. She ran up. She was trying to go up against Joe Biden or whoever several years ago, and, I mean, she didn't even get the nod. Nobody wanted her as president. Now everybody's like, okay, she's our golden child. And but it was crazy, and it was closer than probably a lot of people thought it was going to be. But here we are. 24, 48 hours after the election results are in, Trump's going to be the next president again, and I personally am grateful for that. I don't want to get into a lot of politics and stuff here, but I'm just going on what I've seen her stand for versus what I've seen him stand for. Now, listen, I know Trump's not, the greatest dude. He's been through a lot of bull crap and made a lot of stupid choices, as we all have. But I know he stood for a lot of good things, a lot of wholesome things, and for that I'm grateful. And the bottom line is God can use anybody. God can use anybody. We look back through Scripture and through the Bible, and you see where God took a corrupt king and changed his life and did good things through kings and did good things through leaders and did good things through people that seemed like the most unfit person. God's done that, and that was kind of the peace I came to. It's like, you know what? God can do good things through Kamala Harris and her sidekick Walls or Balls, or what's the name?
Walls.
I don't know. And so God could and can do great things through anybody. But our prayer was, again, that, man, somebody with a little bit better values on the conservative side was going to be in the office, and that's what happened. We're thankful for that. But here's the challenge I got for people is that everybody wanted to be praying for, hey, let's pray for Trump to get in. Let's pray for this. And churches were having prayer times the night before the election and all these things. And I just want to encourage those of you listening, again, not trying to get into all the politics and stuff, but really just life. This is just good stuff for life. You might have been praying for the president of your choice to get in office. But now's not the time to quit praying, because a lot of people do that. They'll pray, hey, let's get this guy in and let's pray. Man, we need God to move in America. We need revival and all this stuff. But then they get the choice, and then the election goes as they want, and then the next day, here we are, and people are like, okay, cool, and just back to life as normal, business as normal, and they're not praying for anything anymore. It's kind of like that dude that goes to church on Easter. He goes one time a year, and all of a sudden he loves Jesus on Easter, and God is good, God bless America. And then the day after Easter, he goes back to living like hell and just doing his normal routine. We need people that will say, you know what, I do want to see a change in America. I'm praying for it. I was praying for it before the election. I'm praying for it now. I'm praying for God to do miraculous things in the life of Donald Trump and his staff. Man, we need to be praying for Joe Biden. We need to be praying for Kamala Harris and Walls, man, praying that God will change their lives. They've made some stupid choices, and they stand for some stupid things, but, man, God can do incredible things in and through them. And so that's my prayer, and that's my challenge to you guys listening today is don't just stop praying now that you may have gotten the person you want in office, but we need to be praying for America, that really we do have some dramatic change. A revival sweeps across, and God just does some good things, and people get serious about living for him. It's such a corrupt country, and it's getting worse and worse every day. We need to pray for people to stand up and say, you know, we are going to take back this nation, and we want this nation to stand for good things once again, and we give God the glory for it. And so pray for people in leadership. Pray for all those you love, the ones you may think you hate. Pray for all of them, and in days to come, we'll continue to do that. So that's our little political rant for the day. Just encourage people to pray for our country, pray for our leaders then, pray for past and future leadership of this country. We need that big time right now. So with that said, let's get into talking grunt call. Today we want to answer the question, what is the best grunt call? What's the best sounding grunt call? Now, we kind of have said, what's the best sounding grunt call of all time? What's the best sounding grunt call on the market? Whatever you want to say, because it was quickly pointed out earlier, one of the boys said, hey, you can't say the best grunt call of all time because we don't have all the grunt calls from all time, nor do we have all the grunt calls that are available on the market now, but we've got a good selection. How many we got, Rimbo and Aiden?
I think we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 12.
We got a dozen of the grunt calls that are on the market now. Maybe some of them have been discontinued, but we're going to go through these calls and try to give you the sounds. We want you to hear them, but then we also want you to comment and let us know which one you think sounds the best. Which one is your favorite? Which one do you think sounds the best? Maybe you have one of these. We want you to comment below and tell us, hey, this is my favorite. I like this one. I like the way that sounds. I have this one. Maybe it's one that we don't have in our list of calls here. Comment below and just tell us which is your favorite call, what you use, what you like, and why. And we're going to get into these. We'll try to tell you the price on these, what they are, the price of them. I don't know if we know the names for all of them. But we're going to go through these sounds, give you the little rendition of what they sound like, what they're capable of, and then we're going to go through and pick our top. Should we do our top three? Top three picks. Okay.
Top three.
All right, so here we go. Let's just go right down the line. You'll start on that end? All right, let's start on that end. I'm going to give you this one, and we'll move this one over here. This is one of the newer ones, so we'll move it over here in the lineup. And let's just go right here. Is that one of the newer ones you like too? Okay.
All right.
All right, here we go. Remy, what do you got up first? First call in the mix. I don't know if you remember what they're called or not. If you don't, I'll try to figure it out.
This is the Primos Rut Roar.
Primos Rut Roar. How much was it?
It is $20, and I think you can find it at your local Walmart.
$16, wasn't it? I think that was $16.99.
I saw it when we were at Walmart yesterday. I saw it at $20, but I don't know.
Have to look it up.
All right, yeah.
Figure this out.
Let me look it up. You give us some sounds. Go through what it can do. Sounds. It's got two different options as far as the.
It's got the grunt and it's got the.
I'm gonna look it up.
Louise.
Hey, you can be all right. You're probably quicker with the thumbs. That's the snort. You just call it the wheeze. The snort wheeze.
Yeah.
Call it the snort.
Yo,
wheeze,
wheezy.
buddy.
All right, give us a grunt sound first.
It's pretty good.
That's pretty good. It's got a good sound to it. I seen it right here on Amazon, $15.99, $15.56. You saw it at Walmart for how much?
$20.
See, that's Walmart right there getting you, jabbing you, stabbing you. On Amazon for $15-16. Give it to us one more time. Primos Rut Roar. Oh, you get a little high on it, yeah, and blow it out. And it does have the little handy dandy exhale, or excuse me, the tube for doing your the old snort wheeze, the Intimidator. That's a good sound. You see a lot more people using that. I remember 20 years ago, nobody ever heard that sound, and I never heard it in the deer woods. And then people started talking about it, the little sound, and we would just do it with our mouth. But and a lot of people early on said it's that dominant buck. It's the big buck. It's the dominant. If you hear it, it's the big buck in the bunch. But I've heard it over the years, and last year I heard it one particular farm. The buck he'd do that instead of grunting. It was like I'd hear him snort wheeze, and that was the sound. He wasn't, he'd come through, and you wouldn't hear him grunting. You'd hear him. He was just snort wheezing all the time, and he was just a little dinker, 1.5-year old deer. Now he may have been, he thought he might have been the big buck of the bunch, and he was definitely not the biggest buck in the area. And whether he just thought he was big stuff, whether he was a bully, whether he wanted to be big stuff, whatever, he would snort wheeze. He would always snort wheezing at the does he was chasing, and I heard it a bunch. But he was not the biggest buck on the block. So it's not just, don't think just because you heard a snort wheeze that it's a monster. Because I'd hear it, and then all of a sudden this dink runs out, and watching him. So bucks of all sizes will do that, and I think it's more the attitude more so than the size of the horns on the head. So all right, next call there. Is that's a Flextone?
Flextone extractor.
Extractor? Okay.
$23.
$23. Flextone extractor. Give us a little sound of that one there.
Actually got 3 sounds: buck, doe, and fawn.
It's got the slider on it there. I'll let you do that one next.
Doe.
Yeah, now that's got a little slide on the side of it. It's kind of gimmicky, but it works. You can slide it up and down, and you can do an old buck, young buck, slide the little slide all the way up and get to your
fawn
or does. Yeah, boy, she sounds cute. So you got your little bleat, and it also has a little snort wheeze tube on the top of it. Yeah. All right, so that's the Flextone extractor.
Extractor.
I think you can find that at Walmart too.
I think we saw it for $23 as well. All right, Aiden's got the next one here. This is one of my old favorites. I've carried this in my pack for a lot of years.
So Primos Buck and Doe.
Is it Power Buck and Doe?
Yeah, Power Buck and Doe.
Primos Power Buck and Doe. We saw it for $16.99, I think, on Primos website maybe. And this call, like I said, it's been around a long time. I've carried it a long time. It's got a really good sound. Blow it, Aiden. And that call, it has different sound. Obviously, you pull that hose out, and it's got a whole different sound to it. But go ahead. It's not a real loud sound, but it's got a real good, accurate sound.
And you can pull it out. Sound like a more mature buck.
Yeah, just a really good sound to it. Now, here's what's cool about this call. We notice it doesn't have this anymore. But back in the day, it was super gimmicky, but they had a compass built on the top of that right there. You had a little built-in compass on top of your grunt call. And so if you're out there and you're lost, you just use your grunt call, and that can be your compass, which is cool because, everybody needs to carry a compass in their bag, right? You need to have a compass with you. But they had it built into the grunt call. Obviously, it's no longer there. The glue has worn out and it's gone. We saw the same call on the shelf at the store yesterday, and they've no longer are offering the built-in compass option.
I think you can even do the doe sound on it. If you
is that inhale?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can inhale, exhale on that one. Blow out and get your grunt sound. And then inhale. So, cool stuff. Really cheap call, but one of the best sounding calls for the price. Just good sound. Like I said, I've carried that for a lot of years. The Primos Power Buck and Doe. Super cheap, but yet good quality sounds. What's our next one we've got in the lineup? Rimbo, go ahead and back to that one there.
Woodhaven Custom Calls. And this one, do you know the name for it?
What was the name? What was it called? It was kind of their...
kind of like their...
It was their high-end call. This one was...
Like $72?
No. This
$79.
This is the most expensive call we found on the market. Oh, my nose itching. $79.99. It says it right there on the side. Let's see. Woodhaven Custom Calls. No, it doesn't have the name. I can't remember. Look it up, Aiden. We're going to find the name for it because people need to know. Because there are several different calls within the Woodhaven deal. But you want to work on that one for us? Give us the sound of that one there.
I think it's like so hard to like do it.
No.
It's just the classic deer grunt.
Classic deer grunter from Woodhaven. So it's got the wooden tube on it, the wooden barrel on it.
It's like you barely got to put any pressure on it because like if you do it, it'll go like.
Yeah, this one will ring out and hang up on you.
I can't do it that good.
You can't do much air into it. It doesn't take a lot of air. And we may have our reed stuck. That one there's definitely got the reed stuck in it somehow. The guts are jacked up on that one there because it does sound better than it. It does ring out and it will hang up, but it's not that bad. It shouldn't be that bad. So
let me hit a lick on that.
There it is. I just adjusted the guts in it. You can drop that hose down. Listen to it. But this call will, if you put too much air into it, it will ring out. It locks up if you put too much air into it. But that is the Woodhaven Classic Grunter. Really good sound. One of the best sounding grunt calls out there. Woodhaven Grunter. $79.99 though. That's a pretty steep price tag for a grunt call. Again, that is the most expensive grunt call we found in all our digging, and the ones we had, the ones we bought. Good stuff there. Remo, what's the next one?
This one's called the Mad. It's the Mad brand.
Hyper Growl, I think.
Hyper Growl, I think.
And I think Mad. That's Mark Drury's outfit from years back. I think they were the first to come with the growl. They were the first one. Them and Primos both kind of hit the market with this growl sound, and it was kind of a beyond the grunt. You have the grunt and aggressive grunts, but then they came out some years back and they're like, hey, we've got the growl, and this is just a roar. I think the Mad called it the growl, Primos called it the roar, and they were trying to just kind of get that, just kind of market a whole new sound that we've never heard before. And I remember it came on, people, man, that's dumb. There ain't no such thing as a growl. Bucks don't growl, but they really do. I remember several years ago hunting one afternoon, and the buck activity is crazy. Bucks running and going all over the place. And it was at the farm we just worked on. It was the farm we worked on the other day, Aiden. All right, don't know names. Ain't mentioning no names or anything, but with the farm we worked on the other day, that big holler we walked through and drove through, that's where I was set up. And I remember that evening right there at dark, shooting time was up. I was climbing down, and I'd been hearing grunting going crazy, but all of a sudden I heard, and I was like, oh my gosh, what was that? And it was startling. Like it would have scared me if I hadn't known that it was deer over there running around. It would have been, it would have scared me. Like, so, you know what I'm saying? Like it sounded like a dang dragon. It was just a crazy. And it was loud, a loud scream, roar, growl, whatever you want to call it. It was that, and that was I've heard some variations of it, but that was one time that I heard it was just a ridiculously loud growl, scream, grunt all together. And so that's kind of where that's come about. So it is a legit sound. If you're sitting there thinking, man, I don't know about that growl and the roar, I've never heard that. It's out there. It happens, and it's just a jacked up, worked up buck that's ticked off, and he's either telling that doe to stop, get over here, let me breed you, slow down, or he's telling them other bucks around in the area to get the crap out of my business, So go ahead and with the little growl you got there, the Mad Hyper Growl. That's a good sounding.
Give him the growl.
Yeah, that's a good sounding grunt. But yeah, so you can blow it a little harder. Not too hard though. Yeah, and so let me have it right there. It doesn't take much air at all, and this one you just kind of huff into it, and that's got a good sound, good grunt. And that call, again, it's got a wide range. It's got a snort-wheeze tube on it as well. Yeah, and the growl sound as well in that one. So that's the old Hyper Growl. I don't know. We saw that in the sporting goods store the other day, even though I don't think Mad Calls is even a thing now. Mark Drury's gone in, and he is I think he's with HS now with some calls. But, Aiden, you've got a call that we've had for a lot of years. It's been discontinued. What is it called?
Primo's Uproar.
That's the Uproar. That was prior to the Rut Roar. The Uproar, and it's like a 3-in-1 call. But give us the grunt sounds on it and see what all that'll do.
Yeah. You got the grunt. I think
it's got a bleat too, doesn't it? Yeah, and then it's got the tube too. Yeah. There you go. So a little 3-in-1 call. I don't know if they just didn't do good with this call, or like a lot of companies, they just come out with something different. And this one had the old strap on it. You know, instead of wearing it around your neck, the collar around your neck, you put your strap on your arm. I remember Brad Ferris would be drawing his bow back, and he'd have it on his arm right there, and he'd just at full draw would reach up there and I can't do it from his forearm, but anyway, you get the idea. That call, I think, has been discontinued. I don't see it anymore anywhere. So, Rimbo, what's the next call you got there?
This one is called the True Talker OG Original Grunter.
Yeah, and that is legitimately the OG, probably one of the first ones out there. One of the first one a lot of us had, the little True Talker from Hunter Specialties. It's just that black, straight tube. It's got a real pig, hog-like grunt sound to it, but a real aggressive grunt sound.
Yeah, it's really aggressive.
You're getting too much volume into it. There you go. Keep it softer. Take your hand off the end of it. There you go. There you go. Oh, yeah. It's got a good sound. It's a real aggressive grunt, it sounds like an older buck, you know. It's got that good sound. It's got the, you know, where you can put your hands on the reed and make different sound. Kind of play it like an instrument and hold down on the reed and make different sounds with it. But that's one of the original ones. I remember having that as a kid, the old version of that, the original version of that, and it's been around for a long time. Good call. I think those are, what do we look them up on price-wise? They were $23, $20-something bucks, I think, low 20s. Most of these calls are in that price range of $20 to $25. Again, on the, you know, a lot of the ones like that, you can buy them at Walmart, your store-bought calls, $20 to $25 range. Aiden, what do you got next? This is another one of the newer calls on the market. What do you got?
Phelps game call. We got the Beta Pro. Yep. It's going to run you at $72.
Yeah,
a little pricey.
Well, that was a call that came out, I think, 2 years ago, and Phelps has been since bought out by Meat Eater. Meat Eater Crews bought Phelps game calls out, from what I understand. And this call came out, I think it's been 2 years ago, and this was one that a buddy of mine, Clayton, he said, "Hey, man, have you seen that new Phelps grunt call?" And I'm like, "No, what are you talking about?" And he sent it to me, and I started watching some videos. I'm like, "That's killer." And he said, "Have you seen how much it cost?" And I said, "No, what is it?" And he's like, "It's $70 or $74. $74.99, I think is what it was." And so I was like, good gosh, $75 for a grunt call. It better sound good. And sure enough, it did. It sounded really good. Really good sounding call. They introduced that call and a couple others. But that's where I started digging around, and we actually did an article at bowhunting.com talking about how much would you spend? Like, how much would you pay for a grunt call? And I got to talk about, man, $75 for a grunt call is crazy. But then we started looking at other styles of hunting. Duck hunting. I mean, you look at duck hunting. Dudes will pay $200, $300 for a duck call. You know, turkey calls. Guys spend big money on turkey calls, box calls and pot calls and different stuff, and well over $100. So all of a sudden, the $75 for a grunt call wasn't that big a deal when you realize, hey, deer hunters need to have their high dollar call too, and $75 ain't that bad. And so, anyway, it's got a good sound to it, really good rattle and roll to it. Go ahead. Yeah, it's got good volume. You can growl in it. Good volume to it. I like that high end call on a day where you need that extra volume. It's been raining. I mean, we've had 15-mile-an-hour winds the last couple of days, and those are the days where you need that louder call to get out there and get that volume out there instead of these soft sounds. The grunt is a very soft and subtle sound. It's something you might not hear from great distances, or you might not hear it on those days where everything's blowing and leaves are just rustling. But it's a sound that you can put the volume out there. Now, listen, you're not trying to make it sound, unless you're doing a growl or something, you're not trying to make it sound like a big old roar. The grunt is a very soft and subtle sound, but on those days when there is a little more noise in the woods, having that volume helps you get that sound out there, reach across a field, whatever it may be. So, good call from Phelps. Again, $74.99. Rimbo, what do you got next on the...
It's the HS. What did you say the name was?
What do we call that? Buck bark?
Yeah,
buck bark. It was the buck bark?
The buck bark.
It's got like a skull-looking thing.
A little Euro mount skull on the top of it for decoration. I think it's $23, like $24.
$20. I think you can find it like at sporting goods
Every time
store.
I say $23, you're like, $20. It's like $23.99.
$23.99. You can do the snort wheeze and, of course, the grunt.
Give us that buck grunt. There you go. There you go. All right, so got multiple options there. Good sounding grunt. It's a bigger call, though. It's got a bigger body. It's kind of wide. I don't know if that's the tone chamber inside or whatever they got going on, but it's definitely a bigger call. I think this is it's a pretty cool call. I believe this was done in conjunction with Mark Drury's got the Drury Outdoors logo on there as well. Good sounding call. Again, it is a bigger, wider body call than as you can see in my hand there. Good sound to it. $23.99 HS, and that's a good one. Now, here's another call. This is the another one from Phelps. What do we say this was? $34 or so.
Yep.
And there's no hose on this one, no tube or anything. It's called the Omega Hybrid. Okay, Phelps game calls $34.99 Omega Hybrid, and I guess you just blow it. Maybe use your hands to tone it down or let it out, whatever. But and it's got a good sound. It's a lot like that Beta Pro that we used a minute ago. Another good call, and I like the fact that it doesn't have a hose. Makes it where you can just, like I said, use your hands to form the hose and tone chamber, whatever you want to do. But it makes it nice and packable. You can slide it down a pocket, your shirt pocket, whatever. You get a lot of volume in that one. It don't ring out. Really good stuff. The Omega Hybrid from Phelps, $34. Nice and easy. Rimbo's got the
Ninja Woodhaven Intimidator.
Woodhaven Ninja Intimidator. Let us hear that one there. No,
you got.
Oh wait. Let Aiden. This is Aiden's. Yeah, we're gonna let Aiden. We're gonna default to Aiden on this one because this is the Intimidator, and Aiden feels like he's got a little hack job he can do on this one here. Tell us about that call. I think it was how much? Remember the price on that one? Here, I'll screenshot it. Go ahead. You keep working on your little hack. I'll find it here.
$23.99.
$23.99.
So yeah, Dad actually stole the hose for this one, which is
easy.
But either way, so the hose came in like this, and it would sound a little bit like this. And that sounds fine. But I was like, okay, what if you stick the hose where the reed is, and then you blow back out?
Inhale, sucking it in.
It sounds like it.
So you're sucking in.
I'm sucking in.
You put it. You just flip the hose around on the other side of the call and shoved it. Are you shoving it into the hole? Yeah. You're shoving it into the hole and then sucking in. No. What are we doing?
Suck in from right here.
Oh, I see what you're doing. You're going into that little.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah, I got you.
Here, let me see.
It does have a better sound to it, though.
Yeah. So it's kind of a do-it-yourself.
Yeah, you kind of just a DIY hack job on the old Grunt call Intimidator. That's got a good sound to it. Again, $23, pretty cheap call.
Hit the snort wheeze on it.
It's got the snort wheeze. Let's see how this one goes. What end am I supposed to do on that?
Do it on this end.
Just.
Is that?
You see, yeah, but you watch those deer when they do that. They got that. I know it sounds kind of weird, but it's the lips and nose, whatever it is, it's just, and it's an awful sound. But so that is an option, $23 option there. We're down to the last couple. Aiden, you got this call for your birthday. I got it. I bought it from Home Sporting Goods here in Paris, Tennessee. Okay, Home's it's not a sponsor for us by any means. Just some old folks we've known for a long time, done business with a long time as far as just shopping in there. Just a local family-owned sporting goods store here in Paris, Tennessee. I bought this call. What's it called, Aiden?
It's called the Brawler by Quaker Boy.
Quaker Boy Buck Brawler. Or maybe it's just the Brawler.
It's just Brawler.
Brawler. I always call it the Buck Brawler. But the Brawler by Quaker Boy. $21 at Homes. And I think Amazon's got it for $25 or so. Quaker Boy's been around a long time. Dick Kirby was the man there. I met him years ago. He came and did a game dinner at New Harmony at our church here in town, our old church, and got to meet him. We sat around the living room that night after the event and just heard him talking and went through all his calls. And it's really cool to hear his stories. The dude was a stone-cold killer back in the day. He died. He had a back surgery, kind of a freak accident. Was in the hospital, just back surgery, and ended up having some issue and died right there. Shouldn't have happened. Nasty deal. I think the way it all went down, but died a number of years ago. His son Chris has continued to keep the business going. It's one of the few Quaker Boys, one of the few businesses, family-owned businesses still out there that hadn't sold out and risen and fallen. They're still doing their thing. And but this brawler by Quaker Boy is one of the best sounds. I bought this, like I said, I think the day before your birthday.
Yeah.
And I was really thinking, I want that's the call I want, because I've heard good things about it. I know guys that have got it and like it, and I like the way it sounds. So I bought it, and then I got thinking, man, I bet Aiden would like a good grunt call. I'm going to give him that for his birthday. And then I thought, if I like it, I might take it back. If I give it to you for your birthday, I might just go ahead and steal it back, go buy me another, whatever. I'll let you be the guinea pig. And you opened it that day on your birthday, man. I remember how excited you were. We might have to put the audio in. You were just like, Dad, that sounds so awesome. We might flip that audio into here. But go ahead and give us the sound of this brawler from Quaker Boy, $21.99. That's got a good sound. Good sound. So yesterday, because I do like the way it sounds, yesterday I went back. I thought I'm going to go buy one before we put this podcast out there, because I'm telling you, we tell people about it. They hear this, they're gonna want it, and then there won't be any calls left on the shelf at Home Sporting Goods. Rimbo, go ahead and blow it. Let's see what you got. It's just got that good, deep, guttural sound. It's that. It's just got a really good, deep, guttural sound. That's very realistic, and so that's one of my favorites on the table. We're going to go through here in just a second, pick our top picks. But here's my personal grunt call. This is kind of my, for the sake of nostalgia, like you guys know, the older I get, the more I appreciate stuff from the past. And this right here in my hand is my original grunt call from back in the day. I think from back in the 80s, back when I first started. And grunt call is kind of standard equipment. Everybody wants a duck call around your neck if you're a duck hunter. You want to have a duck call, you know what I'm saying? You don't feel like you're an official duck hunter until you have a duck call around your neck, and it's kind of the same with the deer hunter. I mean, he needs to have that deer call, and most of these don't have lanyards on them anymore, but that's what this one did. It had the old school lanyard, and it's a wooden call, like this from back in the 80s. This is my original grunt call, and it's been up there in my office hanging up with no guts in it, and so I found some reeds and guts. I think I took from a Woodhaven call, so it's got Woodhaven reeds. But you open up a lot of these calls and look in them. A lot of them have the same reeds. It's all the same reeds. I'm sure they're buying from the same outfit, call parts manufacturers making all these same things. A lot of these companies buying the same reeds, putting them in their call, and it's just the different tones, it's the different hose, whatever. It gives them different sounds. And so I just took the guts out of a Woodhaven call, and listen to this. Is y'all ready? I mean, this is probably the best call of all time. That right there, good stuff, man. Just takes me back to 1988, 87. I don't remember when it was. But really good stuff there. I love it. So that's my original. That's the OG for me. That's the one that's in my bag. I'm going to keep carrying it, I think, and just keep putting it out there. And I love it. So great sounds. That's the call for me. But let's go through these in our top picks. Remy, I want to hear, what do you think of all these calls? And we'll let people, again, you guys that are watching or listening, we want to hear from you. You can leave us a message, make a comment. If you're watching on YouTube, just leave a comment there in the comment section and say, hey, this is the one I like. That's the best sound right there. So, Remy, you pick your top three. Aiden, your top three. And let's hear from you.
I'm just going to probably put the ones that, all right, let's see. I think these three right here, this one I didn't really think it'd be that great, but once Aiden showed that hack,
You like the hack now?
Yeah.
And you're talking about the Intimidator.
This is probably
Intimidator.
Woodhaven Intimidator.
Okay.
That's my third favorite.
Third place favorite for Rimbo.
I think this one's my second place favorite.
The Phelps.
Yeah, the
Phelps.
Phelps.
All right, the Phelps Beta. What is it called? I think it's called the Beta Pro. Phelps Beta Pro. That's your number two.
And then the Quaker Boy Brawler.
That's your number one pick.
Yep.
Sounds so good. Sounds so good. All right, so there's your top three. The Intimidator from Woodhaven, Phelps Beta Pro in second place, and then the Brawler from Quaker Boys, your number one. Aiden, what do you think? Give us your top three rundown, top three.
So my number one's going to be the Brawler. A little biased because I got it for my birthday, but I do think it's one of the best sounding buck calls I've ever used. I mean, it's just it's so good, and it sounds realistic.
Oh, yeah.
I looked up a video of a buck grunt, and it's not this real deep call. It's a lighter grunt, and so I think this was what this call sounds like. It's a. That's my number one.
And I like the fact you can do a lot of stuff with it. Like I said, you got the different sound, but you can also do those clicks. That old buck, when he's mean marching in there and he's behind a doe and he's mean marching those old stiff-legged stomp, he does it. And it's got that good sound of stuff. So there's the Brawler. That's your number one pick. What's your second and third? You started the first instead of top three. You went third, second, first. You went straight to the champion.
Know which one's the number one.
The boss. All right. What about your second and third? Do you have one you think second and third place?
Number two's the Phelps.
You like the Phelps, same deal?
Yeah. I like how it's loud. Use it on a rainy day, windy day when it's, you're not going to have these deer that are close and that can hear. You're going to have to get those deer that are far away.
Yep.
So you got that loud sound. So that's number two. And then number three is the Hunter Specialties.
Oh, look out now. He's got the old buck bark.
Yeah, buck bark. It's a good sounding call.
Go ahead.
I used to carry, so.
You used to carry that, you say?
Yeah.
When you take
No, you still did. When I got this one out of your backpack yesterday, you still have it in there.
When I stole this one, you had that one in your bag. All right, so there's your top three. HS, buck bark, Phelps, and then the Brawler. All right. So as for me, man, I still love the old Primos guy here. I love the old power buck. I still like that guy. I like the fact you can do the inhale and then grunt it out. It's a little soft. I admit it's a little bit soft on the volume, but I think it nails it. It's got the sound, so that's my third. That's my third place pick. And then I'm with you guys. I like Phelps. I like Phelps in there for just that volume. It's almost got a dirt bike sound about it. Whoa.
Oh, goose call.
I throw a ghost in there, a little goose. How can I do that again?
I don't know. Maybe.
I can't do it again. I can't do it again. Repeat. That was almost a goose call built into. We'll play around that a little bit, but it does. It adds a good sound to it, good volume. I like that for the volume's sake. And then I'm with you guys. The Brawler from Quaker Boy, just hard to beat that sound. So that's gonna be my number one pick, but that's my top three there. But then I'm going to walk away with the grand champion here overall. Beyond the best is going to be the old OG, and I don't even know what brand of call this is. It's just a wooden call, wooden barrel call, and like I said, he's kind of rebuilt it with some guts and a hose on it. If you ring it out, now if you get too crazy, if you ring it out too high there, but keep it down. I like that. That's my pick, my number one choice there. And like I said, I can't even tell anybody a brand because I don't know. I don't remember. I think it was just some dude at a trade show, one of them outdoor shows, deer festivals, and back in the day down in Memphis, picked it up there. Probably wasn't but $9.99 back in the day. I don't know, but that's my favorite call. That's one in my pack. But then I'll take these other ones. So, listeners, we want to hear from you guys. If you listen to the podcast, be sure to, obviously you're listening to the podcast, you're hearing this, but those that are listening to the podcast, let us know what you think. You can shoot us a message, direct message on Instagram, Facebook, Let us know what you think is your favorite sound. And also, we want to hear from you. What's your favorite call? What's your call that you're going to have in your pack? Your go-to call every year for Grunt. And then, again, if you're listening or watching by YouTube, be sure to make a comment. Let us know. Say, I liked this call. What's your top picks? We want to let everybody know what our viewers and listeners, what their favorite calls are, and we'll see which calls end up being the best selection beyond us. We kind of all been pretty close in our favorites here, but we want to hear from everybody else. So y'all be sure to do that. Hey, listen, we've got some cool stuff on the website, huntingroots.com. You've got the shirt on. Something's got to die. This is our rally shirt. Hunting season comes. Can you, flex one time, let everybody see. Something's got to die. It says 1 Peter 2:24. He personally carried our sins in his body on the cross so we could be made right for righteousness' sake. That's why he hung on the cross. Something's got to die. There had to be a price paid, and that's what that shirt's all about. Something's got to die. He paid the price for us. Now it's our time, our turn to die to ourselves. That's what we need to be doing. Get over ourselves, die to ourselves, live for him. And so that's what the Something's Got to Die shirt's all about. And you say, I'm not into Bible verses and stuff. It's just a reference on there. The big bold letters or Something's Got to Die. So you can just wear it as a rally shirt, your hunting camp shirt, Something's Got to Die. We've got Mossy Oak Bottomland hoodies, Hunting Roots Bottomland hoodies, Greenleaf Hunting Roots hoodies. There's a bunch of stuff there, caps, all kind of stuff. Be sure to check it out at huntingroots.com. Visit us on Instagram, Facebook as well. Check out the videos. Again, like you're watching right here, you can check it out. Be sure to subscribe to all those. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'll be popping up some more hunts as we go through the season, deer season 2024. Fired up about those hunts. Hopefully, got some more hunts coming real soon. Looking forward to killing some more critters right there. As always, guys, we encourage you to chase him with all your heart, soul, and strength. We'll see you right back here on the next one. Shoot straight.
God bless.